In this video, I'll do a mediocre showcase of one of the best mods in Skyrim, Requiem. Requiem is an overhaul mod that changes Skyrim from an action-adventure game to an actual RPG, as there is a lot more emphasis on roleplaying and building a character that makes sense. It makes the game more punishing and it adds a sense of character consistency that is missing from the vanilla experience. For example, if you're going to be wearing heavy armor, prepare to have no stamina regeneration and be slowed down. A lot. I can't get out of it. Okay. Gone are the days when you could just be good at every skill. This time, you'll have to specialize. For example, if you're good at smithing, two-handed weapons and wearing heavy armor, you can forget about casting spells in the early levels. Skills and perks are overhauled to be more in line with traditional RPG elements. What I found most impressive is that the restoration skill tree is actually worth considering in this overhaul. Combat is a lot more punishing and requires you to actually plan your engagements.
You are my enemy.
If you mismanage your stamina while wearing heavy armor, you can say goodbye to the mortal coil you call a buddy. When I read about this mod, I was intrigued, so for this video I created an orc named Gormash. Gormash likes bonking people on the head, but dislikes magic. Gormash doesn't say much, instead he lets his biceps do the talking. He is an absolute unit and values strength above all. According to Gormash, a person's might is measured by the ability to bench press 300 pounds and not by the amounts of books one has read. As a result, his favorite animals are silverback gorillas.
Damn, boy, he's thick!
He spent some time in the wilderness and thus has an intermediate understanding of nature, but lacks insight into societal norms.
You will be the first of my concubines.
Also, he's dumb as fuck. His backstory is that he travels to Skyrim to find more people to bonk on the head with his great axe, but he gets caught in an Imperial ambush or something. Let's get into it. The first thing I did was fix the field of view, but I went a little overboard. Mom, can we have Skyrim VR? We have Skyrim VR at home. After surviving a dragon attack, Gormash went with Ralof because I wanted to get my grubby little paws on some Imperial heavy armor. Later, Gormash was confronted with an existential crisis because even the technical difficulties are kept immersive in this overhaul. It took Gormash's dad an hour to fix it. It was at this point that I gathered that you actually need to conserve your stamina to be able to disengage from fights. This dumb fuckery cost Gormash his life, but permadeath is for weirdos so it don't matter. And there it lay, the toughest enemy Gormash had faced thus far. A battle for the ages commenced.
I'm the bear now.
After his well-fought victory, Gormash got hungry and decided to fix some breakfast. Consumed out of combat, it restores 90 stamina. Its raw taste is revolting to anyone but those with a strong stomach.
You underestimate my power.
Of course you can eat it. Finally, after a long and arduous journey, the sunlight smiled once more on Gormash's beautiful cranium as he escaped the cave with Ralof. An unlikely bond forged in the heat of battle, Ralof and Gormash had become fast friends. He glossed over to his newfound companion, and for the first time in a long time, Gormash smiled. But that was because Gormash misunderstood Ralof when the latter said that his sister could help him out. Still, Gormash was determined to mash some gore, and thus hastily set out to Riverwood. On his way there, he came across 3 mysterious standing stones, and his warrior's instinct compelled him to touch one of them.
As your hand touches the stone, you can feel its powerful and ancient magic in every part of your body. You recall the tales about the warrior, powerful and mighty. The warrior can strike down any foe that dares to threaten his path, granting those blessed by him the ability to be... sure, why not?
Even though he did not understand it at that moment, this chance encounter would aid him greatly in the bonking of heads. Ralof's sister Gerder gave Gormash some supplies for the road, and she issued a request. The Jarl would have to be warned about the return of the dragons. Gormash thought he was never about that simple life, until now. He set out for Whiterun to do Gerder's bidding. Gormash's footsteps were filled with both trepidation and inducement. In his warrior's heart, he knew that he would have a part to play in this conflict, but he did not know what that part would look like. But then, urgency forced him to abandon the task at hand, because there was a looming threat on the horizon. His focus became as sharp as his war axe and he jumped into the fray. Following that debacle, Gormash will be offered a place into a circle where he could truly be himself.
You look strong. Come to Orvaskr and be a companion.
You son of a bitch. I'm in.
Do you want to know what's next for Gormash? Me neither, shut the fuck up!